Revolt of 1857. Causes of Revolt of 1857. Number 1. Economic causes. Peasantry participated in the Revolt of 1857 on account of high land revenue charged by British and strict revenue collection policy. Number 2. Artisans participated in the Revolt of 1857 on account of decline in the demand of their products due to large-scale influx of British manufactured goods. Number 3. Some Jamidars also participated in Revolt of 1857 because British confiscated their land on non-payment of land revenue. Number 2. Political causes. British undertook acquisition of various princely states on charges of maladministration by application of doctrine of lapse by wars, etc. Territories annexed by the British on account of application of doctrine of lapse were Satara, Nagpur and Jaipur, all three in Maharashtra, Sambalpur in Odisha, Jhansi in Uttar Pradesh, Tanjore and Arcot in Tamil Nadu, Udaipur in Rajasthan. Awadh was also acquired on account of maladministration as well as doctrine of lapse. The first princely state acquired under doctrine of lapse was Satara in the year 1848. This led to the displacement of large number of rulers like Nana Sahib, Rani Lakshmibai, etc. Under the new regime, even the common people got no relief from oppression. Thus, British drew the ire of both ruling class and common people. Number 3. Administrative causes. Corrupt policies, misgovernance and alien nature of British administration added fuel to the fire. Number 4. Socio-religious causes. Racial nature of British rule and activities of paid missionaries created resentment among people of India. Lands belonging to temples, mosques or other places of worship were taxed. Number 5. Immediate causes. The most immediate cause of revolt of 1857 was discontentment among the sepoys. Sepoys were not allowed to wear caste and sect marks. For a religious Hindu, crossing the sea means loss of religion, and the British Indian soldiers were often required to participate in wars outside India. Indian soldiers were also discriminated in terms of emoluments and no avenues of promotion were available to them. The most immediate cause of revolt of 1857 was introduction of Enfield rifle. The cartridge for the rifle was greased with pig and cow fat, which had to be bitten by the sepoys before loading into the gun. Beginning and spread of revolt of 1857. Beginning of the revolt of 1857 was marked by the murder of senior military officer by a soldier of 34th Bengal Native Infantry Mangal Pandey in Barakpur, Bengal. Following the example of Mangal Pandey, there were other instances where soldiers attacked their seniors and refused to serve in the army. Storm centers of revolt of 1857. Number 1. At Bareilly in UP, General Bakht Khan led a march of troops to Delhi after defeating the local British army. In Delhi, troops had already proclaimed Bahadur Shah Jafar, the last Mughal king, as leader of the movement. After the march of General Bakht Khan, Khan Bahadur led troops at Bareilly. At Lucknow, Begum Hazrat Mahal, Begum of Awadh, led the revolt when her adopted son was forced to abandon the throne. At Kanpur, Nana Sahib, a Maratha leader, revolted because he was stripped of his pension and his hereditary title of Peshwa. He led the revolt and declared himself Peshwa. At Bihar, Kumar Singh, Jamidar of Jagdishpur, in his 70s, led the revolt after British acquired his land. At Faizabad, Maulvi Ahmadullah, a native of Madras, led the revolt. At Jhansi, Rani Lakshmibai led the revolt after her adopted son was refused the throne by British, and Jhansi was forcefully annexed under doctrine of lapse. Tatia Tope, a close associate of Nana Sahib, helped Rani Lakshmibai. However, the Scindias of Gwalior sided with the British. Suppression of revolt of 1857. Bahadur Shah Jafar was exiled to Rangoon in 1858. The royal heirs were butchered in front of him at a place now called Khuni Darwaja. Nana Sahib escaped to Nepal. Tatya Tope was caught in jungles of central India as a result of trickery by one of his associates. Rani Lakshmibai died fighting in the battlefield. Begum of Awadh was compelled to hide in Nepal. By 1859, all other leaders of the revolt were dead. Cause of failure of revolt 1857. Number 1. Bahadur Shah Jafar, proclaimed as the leader of the movement, was a weak and an old ruler. He did not participate much in the revolt of 1857. Number 2. Certain groups even sided with the British. For instance, certain princely states gave active support to British in suppression of revolt. Educated middle class considered the revolt backward and regarded the British rule as necessity for development of India. Certain jamidars also gave active support to British against the peasants. Number 3. The revolt spread to limited territory. By an estimate, 1/10 of population and 1/4 area of India were involved in revolt of 1857. Number 4. The armies of native princes were poorly organized and carried primitive weapons, while the British army was well organized and used modern weapons. Number 5. Revolt of 1857 lacked a coherent vision and was based on local grievances. Consequences of revolt of 1857. Number 1. The rule of East India Company was abolished and reins of Indian administration were transferred to British Crown. Number 2. British stopped further annexation of princely states. Number 3. Army was reorganized and proportion of Indian soldiers in the army was reduced. Number 4. The burden of suppression of revolt was placed on Indian people by introducing new taxes such as Income Tax Act 1860. To control criminal activity, several criminal laws were introduced such as the Indian Penal Code 1860. Nature of revolt of 1857. Number 1. Sepoy Mutiny. Some group of historians call the revolt of 1857 as a Sepoy Mutiny because Sepoys started the revolt of 1857. Dissatisfaction among Sepoys was one of the important causes of revolt of 1857. However, the revolt of 1857 was not just a Sepoy Mutiny, as various social groups participated in revolt such as peasants, artisans, jamidars, princely states, etc. They were drawn together on account of various factors such as economic, political, socio-religious, administrative, etc. Number 2. Fight for religion. It was not just for religious causes. This can be established from the fact that besides Hindu soldiers, a quarter of the soldiers fighting in the revolt were Muslim by religion. Moreover, the Emperor Bahadur Shah Jafar was a Mughal emperor and was appointed unanimously by the rebels. Number 3. Clash of civilizations. It is argued that the revolt was a fight between white and brown race. However, it was not a clash of civilizations because local people fought with other locals wherever there was clash of interests. First War of Independence. Some historians regard the revolt of 1857 as the first war of Indian independence because the revolt saw involvement of a large number of people and covered a significant area under it. However, the revolt of 1857 was neither inspired by the feeling of nationalism nor was it aimed towards achieving independence. Thus, the revolt of 1857 was not the first war of India's independence. The real nature of revolt of 1857 lies in the culmination of many other revolts because there were numerous simultaneous local revolts based on local grievances which were part of revolt of 1857.